Hello everyone, this is DD1 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a very cool unreleased animatronic item by Gemmy Industries. So this is the 2008 animated winged skeleton playing the violin, otherwise known as tabletop skeleton playing violin. So yeah, like I said, this thing was for 2008. It was an original Gemmy concept. This wasn't something, to my knowledge, that was done on behalf of another client like Walmart or Target, for example. This was something that was just done by the designer hoping to be pitched to various buyers. And it's a very neat concept. When I first saw this thing a few years ago now, I really was not sure if it would move in any way, if it had any animation, or if it did, how that would take place. Because as you can see, um, it is a very thin skeleton here. There's not a very obvious spot for like a gearbox or what have you, but he actually does play the violin and he moves his arm back and forth. And you can kind of see there how the arm is separate from the rest of it, and it actually does move back and forth. This is the battery cover, which has the little sample label on it. I just didn't want to turn it upside down a bunch during the video, so I left the battery cover off. But the part that is cut off is actually still on there, so no concerns there. But it's a very neat piece. It's very nicely detailed, very ornate in nature. There's lots of little different bits of paint. Some areas are chipping off, but most of it is still there. And a very unique looking character. And the wings do come off. They are just attached to these little pegs that go in the holes. And this thing's actually had to have been repaired multiple times just from shipping and whatnot. When it most recently was sent to me, it was actually broken at both ankles and this arm and the violin. So 4 spots that I had to reattach, but um, that turned out quite nicely. So there's not too much to say about it aside from showing it to you and demoing it. There's not a bunch of crazy lore or anything, but it's a very neat piece. And I have thought about if this was produced, what would the packaging be like? It might have been in a full box with just a picture of it showing what it does, since the wings do come off, or perhaps um, there would in fact have been an open box with a try-me. But really neat piece, and I'll just do the demo for you now. So yeah, you have to really push the wing in there or else it can fall off, I guess. So yeah, very neat piece. I'll play it a couple more times here. If you recognize the audio, it's the same audio that was on the gramophone. And initially it was recorded without the staticky crackling sounds like you would hear from a gramophone, but for whatever reason it was decided that this guy should have the crackling noises, I guess to make it seem like it's like a music box kind of thing perhaps, rather than just an actual tiny skeleton playing an actual violin. And the track was broken into two phrases, if you will. Yeah, very neat little piece, and it's one where you honestly can't exactly tell when it was made just by looking at it. Some things really just scream a certain year or a certain era, but this is one that's kind of universal in that regard. You know, it could have been made maybe even in 2004 or 2008, like it actually was made for, or maybe even a little bit later on. Um, it's just one where it kind of just stands alone in its uniqueness. And it would be really cool if something like this was actually sold in stores. Um, the very innovative part, though, definitely has to be the fact that despite how thin he is, he actually does have a little bit of animation to him. So it's fascinating that they were able to fit that into the rib cage. But that's about it for this guy. Let me know what you think down below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Thanks.